some background on that. So laws must be tightened to ensure that these businesses implicated in the recent state capture report face full accountability. That's the word from Kaya Sitola there. And, you know, analysts are basically saying that businesses should remain accountability. The business fraternity in particular should actually hold some of their members, the advisory firms, companies are basically being treated with kids' gloves. Now, one of the state capture report laid it bare on the private sector, advisory firm PwC and Kganki failing dismally to detect any fraud and corruption at South African Airways, US firm Bain's damaging restructuring support at the South African Revenue Service, leading it to be described as an enabler of state capture. Bain denies any wrongdoing and says the Commission mischaracterized its role at SARS. Now, I want to bring in the CEO of the Black Business Council, Kganki Matabane, here on this. Yeah, Kganki, thanks very much indeed for talking to us. As I said, just historically, we do have a rather big problem making sure that businesses take accountability when it involves to these type of irregularities. Why is that the case?
Good afternoon, Devan, and the viewers. In our view, we are saying, for example, let's take Bain. Bain repaid 200 million back to the state with interest. So by merely paying that money, it means they've accepted that they are wrong. You can't repay the money if you're not wrong. And then we're saying that is not enough. Because black businesses and small businesses, they get on a daily basis, they get blacklisted by National Treasury for similar things. So we will have to be consistent and say Bain must be prevented and must be banned actually from doing business with the state. Because if you look at the impacts of Bain's business and what they've done at SARS, SARS now has been unable to collect enough money, which means there won't be enough money for service delivery and social services, and that impact is huge. So as a country, we should be angry rather than trying to protect the Bain.
We don't seem to be getting anywhere. And just moving out of Bain, for example, and looking at the auditing firms. I mean, the auditing firms, for example, are not compelled to be transparent and release the auditing process publicly, even in instances of public interest. So we're left in a situation here where very often it just slips by us as to what happens in those processes. What do you think should be done there?
I think the first thing that you mentioned, which we agree with, we need to tighten the law, because if the law is lenient, the application of the law is not going to be able to help us. So we need to tighten the law to say it does not matter whether you're an auditing firm or whether you are a consulting company. If you are found to be guilty, you have to be dealt with accordingly. You have to face the might of the law like any other business or any other individual in the country. Law should not, application of the law should not be seen to be discriminating because you are big, you can afford to pay. It means only poor people will be basically the ones who are supposed to be law-abiding citizens and small companies. That cannot be. The law must be seen to be applicable to all. Hence, we are saying those who are defending Bain and other companies, because it's not Bain alone, they are legitimizing wrongdoing. They are actually promoting wrongdoing. They are saying what Bain has done at SARS is good for the country, which is not. We're supposed to be outraged instead.
What's your take, Kganki, on umbrella business organizations like yourself, and there are others out there, still affording membership to companies that are implicated? I mean, what would you do in that particular instance at the Black Business Council?
what we would have done it was to suspend the member, because we cannot say, for example, we were terminating the membership because the process of the law has not necessarily concluded. But by merely being accused, but also accepting, by even refunding the money that they took illegally, it means they need to accept accountability and responsibility. And we, if it was us, we should have suspended them from membership, and give them an opportunity to deal with the legal issues. And maybe if they have not found guilty at the end, then we can have a conversation with them. But just to leave them and say, continuing as if it's business as usual, you are complicit. You'll be complicit in that, or whatever actions they've taken.
It does become, and this is my final question to you, it does become some sort of a grey area when you are dealing with individuals within a business and the actual institution of the business itself, because I think very often when there's a murky area between the two, that's when accountability becomes a problem, doesn't it? What's your take on that?
Yeah, but you cannot separate an individual who's running a business from the business. They have to be held accountable both as individuals and as a company. So you can't say it was person A, the person A is not there. While the person was working for the company is the one that benefited. The 200 million that was paid was not paid to an individual, it was paid to the company. So it's the company that's supposed to take accountability and be held accountable. So whether person A or B are not there anymore, it's neither here nor there. The company should still take accountability for their actions.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much indeed, Kganki Matabane, the Black Business Council CEO. All right.